Hello, everyone, and welcome to Anxiety Simplified podcast. I am Joanne Williams, and I'm here to share some powerful strategies I've used with my clients as a 30-year mental health professional to lower anxiety simply that you can use too, bringing it right into your home or your car. And we hope these can make your life just a little bit easier, happier, and less stressed. Well, today's podcast is on the vagus nerve. Yes, just like going to Vegas, where it stays in Vegas, but this is not spelled that way. It's the vagus nerve, VAGUS, that can literally calm you. And there's so many scientists that have proven this now. I really want to bring you more about ways to increase this vagus nerve activity to go from fight and flight to rest and digest within minutes, scientists say, and all of the medical issues it can help. So a summary of today's show, we're going to do an actual demonstration or doing this actually a breathing technique that can activate this critical nerve to help you calm yourself automatically. And I want you to really listen up to all of this podcast because they're saying it really is the answer to stress and anxiety. And I'm going to share what it is the vagus nerve can be used for in a lot of different medical issues. So listen for yours if you have some medical issues. And I have been studying the vagus nerve now for almost a year and I've been more and more impressed with it every time I learn more about it. But once I heard that it really is maybe a missing link to calming effects for anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, I was hooked to find out more. And that's what I really want to share with you today. And I've been sharing it with my current clients. It seems like it's almost magical. And so I want you really to hear how to use this and listen for your medical issues that maybe it can help you with naturally. And, this is a podcast, and that video for this will be on anxietysimplified.net that you can actually see me doing this demonstration. Otherwise, I will really try hard to make sure you understand what I am doing in the podcast. But I do want to tell you about one of my clients who is currently using the vagus nerve breathing, I'm going to call this. But she has had panic attacks and entrenched depression so badly that she was actually frozen in place and literally could not decide whether to rent a long-term apartment or go back where she had just driven 1,300 miles from. So she has just stayed in a hotel for months since making the trek from the south to a new sunny location that she thought would be better for her and her son to get away from irresponsible family or detrimental family members. But once she got to her ideal destination, she froze up and literally cannot take left turns or drive on any kind of big, major, expensive highway. And she just go into a full-blown panic attack and froze up. So we have worked on all of these issues for several sessions in therapy. And with some of my advanced energy tapping techniques like EFT for emotional freedom technique that's been shown to really stimulate this vagus nerve as well. And also thought focusing with my Thrive blueprint as her map to her recovery. And once we added the vagus nerve breathing, which we're going to do today, but and it's so simple. She reports she feels like a woman freed from a prison of her own subconscious that created this fear that just paralyzed her from making any decisions and was really completely shut down with depression. And now she feels like this has really been a savings grace to use this breathing technique at intersections, waiting to take a left turn before she even gets on the road. And she has now secured a long-term rental, and she is so excited about this and now exploring her new fun place to live with intrigue. And the vagus nerve breathing technique I'm going to share with you, I think has really saved her life, has been life-changing to her, as she reports. And science agrees. I'm going to talk about a couple articles, and I'll put them in the show notes so I don't have to go into them completely, but from Marcus Hyde and Medium, science confirms that the vagus nerve is the key to well-being. And how much do you hear science talk about that? But they're talking about this mysterious nerve network that quiets pain and stress and may defeat disease. And really what this is about is activating a complicated system or network of nerves that connects the brain to the heart, to the gut, to the immune system, and many other organs. So it goes directly from your gut to your brain. And they're calling this collectively the vagus nerve. And this network of nerves acts like lines of communication between your brain and your body's many systems and organs. And some of them cranial nerves that are sensory and give sensory information collected by the skin, eyes, or tongue, and other controls of muscles and glands. So experts have actually linked its activities, symptoms to change in people's brain functioning, migraine headaches, inflammation of the bowels like IBS, depression, epilepsy, and arthritis. The more science seems to learn about the nerve, the more it seems to like it's all of this better understanding of the nerve, the vagus nerve functioning, that could actually unlock new doors to treating all manners of human suffering. And there are so many medical conditions related to the vagus nerve in this article that I'm just going to tell you about some of the other ones that they have found in this article. Rest to digest within minutes and fight to flight, as told by scientists by Alan Trapulonis. But what they're finding is the vagus nerve cools down inflammation responses, helps strengthen your memory, control your heart rate, sends out and releases the chill out hormone. I'm going to talk about again more in a minute. And it is the vagus nerve is responsible for your gut feeling. You know, that one that kind of tells us good information about our environment? This is how important it is. And know that the vagus nerve also can make you faint if it's not working well. They do call this the vasovagal syncope, which really is when you faint, when your body overreacts maybe to certain triggers. You've seen it in the movies. Oh, and they faint to the floor, maybe at the sight of blood or some extreme emotional distress. It can be from panic attacks, but that's really about breathing. And we're going to talk about breathing through your nose and out through your mouth. And even about this can help better blood sugar regulation, decrease risks of stroke or cardiovascular disease, and generally lower blood pressure. It's been shown to help better digestion due to proper production of digestive enzymes, have fewer migraines, less depression, less anxiety, and other natural ways to deal with it. And science is really showing that this critical vagus activity is what helps your attention and mood. And there's actually evidence that stimulating this vagus nerve can help attention deficit disorder. And the FDA has approved a vagus nerve stimulator for treatment of some forms of depression and seizures and migraines. However, they're also showing that the vagus nerve can constantly monitor your gut enzymes or what might be happening for viruses or other pathogens getting into your gut. And there's an immediate response that then controls any inflammation that results from these foreign organisms that actually can affect your mood or your stress level and your ability to cope with stress or overall inflammation levels. And they're going to talk about low vagal tones with people who are more prone to heart problems, stroke, diabetes, chronic fatigue syndrome, cognitive impairment, depression, not to mention more inflammation conditions of autoimmune disease like thyroid, rheumatoid arthritis, inflammation on the bowels, IBS, or even endometriosis or lupus, which again are immune responses. So I want you to just listen up to this and how this can affect, arthritis. And relieve it and treat it. And they're asking, how could one nerve control so much? While many aspects of this activity, it's clear that this nerve is the governor of your parasympathetic nervous system, which helps to control your body's relaxation response. And that is why. But in simple terms, they're saying heightened vagal activity can actually counteract your stress response. I also saw this report it was a Harvard study that shows 95% of everything a doctor sees in their office is actually a stress response or from stress. So really what we're dealing here, it sounds like, with so many of these medical issues is our life, what's happening in our life, and stress that's related to it. It's really how we're responding to what's going on in our life. And so that's where we need to have a practice in our life that lowers our stress. And what they're showing to trigger the release of this immune system calming chemical, acetylcholine it's called, which is a calming chemical, which evidence is showing that the vagus nerve, through this electrical stimulation, can release this calming chemical for these health benefits. Even they're saying turning off asthma or epileptic seizures. And they're calling this the missing link to treating chronic inflammation that can cause a variety of other issues and this inflammation response, all without medication. How many times do you hear that from science? So that's why this is so important. And Otto Loewi, a Nobel Prize-winning scientist, discovered this chill hormone, acetylcholine, that actually calms you. And then two Netherlands researchers in 2018, so this is kind of recent, and I think it's the reason why we haven't heard a lot about this, found that the slow breathing techniques with a longer exhalation stimulates the vagus nerve. And he called it the vagal tone, which is determined by the difference between your exhalation, which lowers your heart rate, your inhalation and heart rate, and your exhalation of your heart rate. The bigger the difference between the difference between them of your inhalation and your exhalation, produces whether you have a higher vagal tone or a lower one. And it means that you are more able, if you have a higher vagal tone than someone with a lower vagal tone, to relax your body after a stressful event or situation. So this is why it is such a big clue about stress and anxiety. Apart from being able to relax faster after stress, people with a higher vagal tone have overall better functioning internal systems, including, all of the medical things about inflammation and immune response. And in the past, the only way they knew how to do this was surgical implants. And today we know that breathing techniques have been shown to stimulate the nerve, or other things like massage and yoga. But one doctor has found almost anyone can find relaxation and stimulating this vagal tone or vagal nerve, meditation, deep breathing, and it's all good for heightening vagal activity. And they even did a study that showed that migraines have impaired your vagal activity, and actually deep breathing and yoga found actually can help with migraines. But stress and anxiety are associated with depressed vagal activity, which may help to explain what all of these stress responses are creating some of these medical problems. So I know I've gone on and on about all this science, but I really want you to hear this, how important this is, how science has now proven this. So now let's talk about ways to increase your vagal tone simply. And I'm going to give you seven ways that you can alter your tone to some degree using these simple methods, but it's consistent practice. Okay. That's why this isn't magic, like a pill, take it, you're done. No, you have to practice consistently. Okay. Yeah, that. So here's the 7 ways. Humming. Think about it. Just hum in the shower. Or how about Om, that has been shown through eons, has been shown, and that's why maybe even the Buddhists with their toning has been shown. That's why they're so calm or mindful. But it is connected with your vocal cords, and that's why the humming can stimulate this nerve. How about speaking? People who are speakers are more likely to be able to raise their vagal tone as they talk, because again, they're stimulating their vocal cords. How about singing? And laughter in general can really help. How about washing your face with cold water? I even splash cold water. You know how the water it has a while to get hot till it gets to your bathroom or whatever. I am splashing that on my face, but they're actually showing that 20 seconds of cold water helps the fight and flight system decline and the rest and digest system increase. In other words, just like the old movies, you have a panic attack, splash cold water on your face actually does work. How about yoga? Yoga, along with breathing techniques, can significantly increase your vagal tone. With meditation, number 5, adds another whole element. And people were shown in a study who meditate regularly can think more positive thoughts and tend to have better vagal tone. Number 6, just increase your good bacteria. And your gut bacteria with enzymes, stomach enzymes, can also increase your vagal tone. All right, now we're getting into the deep breathing using your diaphragm breathing, which we're going to go into and practice together, which is called, I call it the vagus nerve breathing. And it is so simple, but you use your diaphragm. If you don't know where they're right at the top of your stomach, it is the connector between your stomach and your lungs, and it expands when you breathe in through your nose, which we're going to do. And then so your belly should rise and out through your mouth, and it should contract. And so what we're going to do together to stimulate the vagus nerve is called 4 and 8 breathing, which is 4 inhalations in through your nose and out through your mouth with the 8 count. Okay? And I will be doing this. I will do a count for us for the podcast. And for the video, you'll see my fingers go up. But if you can, just sit back and relax. And this is so simple. You're not even going to believe it. But what we're going to be doing is activating that chill hormone, acetylcholine, that science has really found that this practicing of the double exhale over your inhale is what stimulates this nerve to control and help with your vagus nerve. So here we go. Help to count with in through your nose to the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale out to the count of 8. And we're going to do 4 sets of this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Out through your mouth. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Exhale out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that was a set of 3. You can do that. What they're recommending is doing that set of 3 to 4 3 times a day. And if you can do that and practice it for 8 to 9 days or about 25 sets, they're actually showing that the vagus nerve will continue itself to secrete that calming chemical automatically. But why would you stop? It's a great habit and it feels great. Think about, how do you feel now after you just did 3 sets of those? Every single client that I've done this with said, oh my gosh, I can think better. It cleared my head. I feel calmer. So please try this. Do it yourself. I'm not saying it's a magic bullet for calming, but what I'm finding with my clients, it absolutely helps you to calm. And you can do this anywhere. At the stoplight, just like my client does. At a stoplight when she couldn't turn left, she does her breathing. In through your nose, out through your mouth to count of 8. Even for sleeping, you can literally count it in your head. Has been shown to help you sleep better. Add it to a meditation as you walk. You've got a winner. So definitely try this as a stress reducer and see how you can use this in your life as a calming technique. And this is by no means a replacement for therapy or any kind of medical attention if you need it. And always reach out if you need to and take care of yourself. And there is always somebody standing by if you ever feel like you're going to hurt yourself, or to have this in your phone so that you could help somebody else. And you could, as a depression hotline at 1-800-273-8255, or always call 911 if you need it. So thank you for listening, and we do hope and appreciate you listening. And to show your support, please rate and review our podcast if this was helpful to you, and share this with someone else that it can help. And remember to practice this. That is the key here, so that you can feel less stressed and enjoy more joy in your life. And if you are looking to see this video, you can find it at anxietysimplified.net, or to get a certified emotional support animal, or psychiatric service dog to help you to feel the calm. You can always go to our website, ESA Pros, for that. Remember to share the love. Bye for now.